We're going to be talking about two superstars of the mushroom world, Cordyceps and Chaga. We're going to be talking about the benefits and dive deep into how they're grown and all sorts of other interesting facts about these two incredible mushrooms. Thousands of species of mushrooms, only very select few hold that title of medicinal mushroom or functional mushroom, and even a smaller subset of those become super popular. Generally, it's because of the compounds that are in them, right? So all mushrooms have these beneficial polysaccharides or immune-supporting polysaccharides or beta-glucans, and Chaga and Cordyceps are no different. They have very unique compounds in them. Oftentimes, Cordyceps is called the caterpillar fungus. Over 700 species of Cordyceps, and most of them are parasitic. So how Cordyceps grow, the actual life cycle of Cordyceps, is the spores will infect typically a living insect. They'll actually use the insect's body as a growth medium and eventually fruit through the body. So it's a parasitic mushroom that actually kills the host.
Typically, on the Tibetan Plateau, which is where the Cordyceps sinensis is found, the caterpillars are under the ground, the Cordyceps infects them, it makes the caterpillars rise up to the top of the surface of the soil, and then the Cordyceps mushroom will sprout from his head, release other spores, which then can infect other.
And traditionally, Cordyceps sinensis, it was the traditional kind of medicinal Cordyceps, right? And you can still get Cordyceps sinensis today, but it is insanely expensive.
Really expensive.
You've seen this in some TCM shops or traditional Chinese medicine where you go and there's a little tiny package of 10 grams of Cordyceps sinensis with the caterpillar and everything, the fruiting body. It's actually pretty neat to see.
Yeah.
There's another species of Cordyceps that you can actually cultivate on a bed of rice and soy, no insects whatsoever. And it's a very similar species and mirrors a lot of the benefits. So this species, which is this one, is called Cordyceps militaris, and it can be cultivated. Lots of people have figured it out, and you can cultivate this in huge numbers and make it reasonable to actually use on a regular basis for medicinal mushroom. And the way it's grown basically is you take this bed of rice, you hydrate it, you inoculate it with a culture of Cordyceps militaris, and that slow growth actually increases the amount of beneficial compounds in the Cordyceps. The reason why it's so interesting and so effective is because energy production, which is using cell energy production, what we use for our bodies, and that's one of the reasons why it's used to increase endurance and increase energy. And that's how you kind of characterize Cordyceps as kind of the energy mushroom, right? Used by a lot of athletes, but used just for people who are kind of looking to increase their energy and endurance. And
so if you're looking for lung benefits, oxygen benefits, endurance benefits, Cordyceps is definitely something to check out.
Now, Chaga is actually super interesting. And actually, to say Chaga mushroom when you're referring to this is, again, a bit of a misnomer because it's not technically a mushroom. They call it a canker or a sterile conch or a sclerotium. It's kind of this blend of birch wood and Chaga mycelium. There's a lot of compounds in Chaga that are not necessarily water soluble, so sometimes an alcohol extract is pretty good, but the fruiting body of Chaga mushroom is kind of like this exceedingly rare thing that nobody ever sees, because the fruiting body, after the tree dies, it actually shows up on top of the Chaga, and it kind of disperses its spores, and then it finds little holes on other trees that can infect with the Chaga and kind of go over and over again. So much like Cordyceps, actually, Chaga is a parasitic to trees.
Yeah.
The reproductive cycle is still kind of a mystery, right? Now, in terms of characterizing what people use Chaga for, or the history of Chaga for digestive health, digestive benefits. Chaga is, like I said, it's not a gourmet mushroom, but it is actually pretty tasty. If you just take Chaga and you make a Chaga tea, it kind of looks like coffee. And actually, there's been some places where they do use Chaga mushroom as a coffee replacement if you can't get it.